Well, good morning and welcome in everybody to Ballard Sports Media, Christian Ballard Sports Journalists with Ballard Sports Media. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I don't really do as many videos as I'd like to, like this. Trying to get back to it, trying to find more time. I'm always working, but then again, I'm off at like 6 Eastern. I get home, I've had a long day and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to find the energy, but we're here this morning. It's not even 7 a.m. I'm recording it. Let's go. So, we're going to look at some playoff odds for each conference in this video, but I also want to specifically address Texas Tech in the Big 12. So, let's kind of get into this. My preseason thoughts, at least for me, and I'm sure it was a popular opinion. If not, I mean, let me know in the comments. But I really think the Big 12 was up for grabs for almost any team in the conference. They got what, 16 teams, almost 20. Not as much as the Big 10, but coming close, right? So I think a lot of us, for the most part, thought the Big 12 was going to be up for grabs. There wasn't a clear cut number one team. You had a team like Texas Tech on the radar. You had Iowa State. I'm sure people before the Jake Ratzliff stuff looked at BYU as a potential threat just because they return a lot of production. I mean, there were teams out there that just looked the part to go and compete for. I'll hold off on saying national title, but let's say the Big 12 title and, of course, the college football playoff. But what we want to do today, first off, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate it. As of October 3rd, which is when I'm recording this, out of 16 teams in the Big 12, just about, is it 16? I think it is. Yeah. It's hard to keep up these days with realignment. But anyway, out of all the teams, it's really down to a top five in the Big 12. We'll look specifically at Texas Tech. Uh, but when you look at the um, the standings of the Big 12, you have quite and I know you're going to say, well, it's early in the season, but you have three 4-0 teams. You have BYU, who's ranked 23rd. You have Houston, who's unranked, who's 4-0. Texas Tech, who we'll specifically look at as the highest ranked Big 12 team right now, is 4-0. You have a 5-0, 14 Iowa State. You have Houston, BYU at 4-0, as I mentioned, and then Arizona State's ranked at 4-1, ranked 25. So you have four of the top five teams in the rankings. One of them having a loss, that's Arizona State. Um, of course, their loss coming to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Um, so you have that. I still like. I'm gonna talk about Texas Tech because I feel like they should be the favorite right now, and I'm sure on some sources they are. We'll look at it here on ESPN. But I mean, could we all agree that they just look like the dominant team right now in this conference? I'm not saying Iowa State's not dominant. I'm not saying it's not Arizona State. I'm not saying anything to put these other Big 12 teams down. I'm really not. But it does seem like there's a little bit, not too much, but a little bit of separation between Texas Tech and the rest of them. That's why I picked the Texas Tech background. Are they proving us wrong about the Big 12? Because I think a lot of us would have gone into this season and said it's up for grabs. It could be anybody to win it. And for the most part, yes, that's probably still true. Um, but instead of it being like 8 or 9, possibly 10 teams, like I thought it was going to be, which I know that everyone plays each other. But I figured by the start of October, we would still be sitting here saying there's a handful of teams. Let's see how this month plays out. You know, there's a smaller handful of teams that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at Texas Tech. I'm looking at Iowa State, Arizona State, BYU. I'm looking at those teams. I even look at teams like the one-loss teams like Cincinnati or Utah. I mean, they still got a chance in this. The teams that don't have a chance, call it what it is. Colorado, West Virginia, I would throw in maybe I mean, who's to say Kansas can't do anything? Kansas State. Who's to say UCF or Oklahoma State? Now, I don't think those are gonna be the teams. Well, I say Oklahoma State. They're 1 and 3, so scratch them off the list. I apologize. Just call it what it is. They absolutely suck right now. Uh, they're down bad. But, you got a 3 and 1 TCU, a 3 and 1 UCF, 2 and 3 West Virginia is at the very bottom. They are looking kind of rough to start out the second round of Rich Rod uh, in Morgantown. I love West Virginia. Rest in peace to our buddy Golden Blue Dude. Shout out to Joey Foster. They're not looking too good. Colorado and Dion, not looking too good. Outside of that, though, I mean, you got a handful of teams, and we still got a lot of football left. Cincinnati's won 3 straight. They're 3 and 1. Texas Tech's on a 4-game win streak. Houston's on a 4-game win streak, undefeated. Iowa State's 5 and 0. I mean, there's just so many teams to love. Especially with like Texas Tech, I think is probably going to be one of my favorites here. They're ranked number 11. They play at Houston tomorrow. They have Arizona State on October 18th on the road. Both of those games on the road. So, Texas Tech's got a tough stretch of games coming up when you look at it, but they seem like a team that I think we need to keep an eye on. Byron Morton has looked really, really good, over 1,000 yards throwing. Cameron Dickey at running back, fifth-year quarterback in Byron Morton, by the way, over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 3 picks. They look like a Big 12 offense. And we also, I know, joke about, well, the Big 12 doesn't play defense. That's true. It is something we laugh at, but Texas Tech, I think, might have one of the best. Again, on everything I'm saying, feel free to argue, debate, fire back at me, agree, disagree, whatever, in the comments. I definitely want some feedback on this one. Coy Eakin for Texas Tech, lead receiver, 260 yards. Look at the defense with Bryce Pollock, 3 interceptions, leads the team. Leads the team in tackles, Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker with 28. Those are some big numbers right there for Texas Tech to have. And they've never really been a quote unquote bad team, but they've never been a top tier great team. I don't think they're that yet. When you look at the college football odds, we'll go ahead and get into that. I want to put these on the screen. Uh, this one here. So, keeping in mind that Oklahoma and Texas, of course, in the SEC now, but you put this up on the screen and you look at the odds. Ohio State plus 500. Okay, and I want to know, by the way, when was this updated last? I mean, maybe this is still from the preseason. I don't know. But let's assume that it's, like, up to date, for example. Obviously, it wouldn't be, but because I don't think Texas is plus 800 to win. I get Alabama, I get Georgia up here, I get Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, I get all that. I am not buying into Texas. Texas has just looked like a struggling team, kinda disappointing this year, but they're still good, right? Um You have to go down a little bit just to find Texas Tech being the top tier, Big 12 team that has the shot of winning a national title at plus 4,000. It's not to say it's impossible, but it's not likely the Big 12 really makes a amazing playoff run or anything like that. I mean, they could, yeah, absolutely. But you're gonna have to face teams possibly like Georgia, Miami, Ole Miss, Alabama, uh, 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 Ohio State, Oregon. You're gonna have to face teams like that. And so when you look at these numbers, these odds, yeah, it favors Texas Tech, but I'm here to tell you, whole point of this video, and we'll make this a quick one. I don't want to go on forever. I think it's more than just Texas Tech out there. Now, they are proving us wrong for those that said it's super widespread, wide open. Anyone could go and win it. Almost anyone, right? Of course. Texas Tech's undefeated. They're the highest ranked Big 12 team. You look at some of these numbers, they've won 4 straight games. They've outscored opponents 208 to 45 in their 4 games. They're 3-0 at home. They're 1-0 on the road. They haven't really had much of a road test yet. They are 1-0 against ranked teams so far this year. They've looked probably on paper like the best team in the Big 12. Now, is that saying much right now? Like, I mean, there is some. I don't think there's a big gap between the Red Raiders and everybody else. I don't. Uh, I feel like it's cutting close. They have to go to Houston tomorrow night, as I mentioned. They got Kansas next week on Fox at 7:30. So they got a handful of challenges coming up at Arizona State, Oklahoma State at home. Well, that's not going to be much of a challenge there. Kansas State's like 2-3 or something right now. They haven't looked all that great. But again, I bring all this up and we look at Texas Tech and we say that, you know, they're 4-0. They're ranked top 15. Houston tomorrow, Arizona State October 18th coming up. I mean, and again, we're halfway through the season, probably not even that. We will be like by next week, at least the regular season. And out of 16 teams in the Big 12, when we thought it was going to be, you know, you have a couple bad teams and then the rest are fighting for the top spot. We thought we were going to have that. Texas Tech's the highest ranked right now. And it's really down to like 4 or 5 teams, counting Texas Tech. They're one of the teams proving us wrong. Now, you look at the rest of their schedule and who they have to play. Um, so they got to play Houston this weekend. They got to play Kansas. They got to play Arizona State, who's ranked. They don't play another ranked opponent until BYU, which who knows what's going to happen to them between now and when they play them in November, like the second week in November on November 8th. Um, so, I mean, they got it easy, kind of. I know you always want to be careful with these games. As long as Texas Tech doesn't get a big head, they should win. I don't want to say the rest of these games, but they should be on the cusp of making the Big 12 title game and honestly being on the verge of being in the playoffs. Then the question becomes, are they good enough to make a playoff run? I still need to see more from Texas Tech to do that. I think they've looked really good so far. I'm not taking anything away from them, but put them on a field in the playoffs against um, Ohio State. Put them on the field against Georgia. Put them on the field against Bama. Put them on the field against I guess if you want to take Miami, who's playing Florida State this weekend, even Florida State, put them against Florida State. There's a lot left to be played in this season. There's a lot to go over. There's a lot to look forward to. I need feedback in the comments on this one, what you guys think. I'm going to premiere it. Let me know in the live chat what you guys think. Let me know after you watch this video back what you guys think as well. I love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know who wins the Big 12 in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts overall on Texas Tech. I love you. Thumbs up, subscribe. Jesus loves you. God bless. And we'll see you next time here at Ballard Sports Media. Good luck to all the Big 12 teams.